Floods. A flood is an overflow of a large amount of water beyond its normal limits. Rivers that flow slowly carry water, sand, and silt. These rivers make their own beds, making them higher than the land around them. These floods cause more damage because more land is affected. Even other natural disasters cause flooding. After earthquakes on the ocean floor, tsunamis can bring up to 15-meter high waves. Tropical storms, cyclones, and hurricanes can cause flooding. Floods can last from several hours to months at a time. This all depends on rainfall rate, time span, soil and ground conditions, and topography. Floods occur in coastal areas and in areas with unusually long periods of rainfall. Bangladesh is affected the most by floods. This is due to the presence of monsoon season. Economically, floods destroy roads, bridges, farms, houses, and automobiles. The government has to deploy firemen, police, and other apparatuses to help the affected. All of these combined come to a heavy cost for the government, and it usually takes years for the affected to be rebuilt and businesses to come back to normal. Environmentally, chemicals and other hazardous substances end up in the water and eventually contaminate the water body that a flood can end up in. For example, after a huge tsunami had hit Japan, the flooding caused massive leakage in nuclear plants. Floods kill more people than hurricanes, tornadoes, windstorms, and lightning. About 60% of all flood deaths are people in vehicles that moving water sweeps away. Shallow water 2 to 3 feet deep can sweep you away. Experts say that if you don't see the bottom of floodwater, don't go in. When flooding occurs, make sure to put all valuable items to keep safe on a higher level. But also put chemical and toxic materials on higher levels. Prepare an emergency kit, including emergency contacts, insurance policy, and a first aid kit. When flooding occurs, move to a higher level if you can. Tune into the local radio to hear if you may have to be evacuated from your area. Put all documents in a sealed bag. Floods kill more people than hurricanes, tornadoes, windstorms, and lightning. About 60% of all flood deaths are people in vehicles that moving water sweeps away. Shallow water 2 to 3 feet deep can sweep you away. Experts say that if you don't see the bottom of the flood water, don't go in. A coastal flood occurs in areas that lie on the coast of a sea, ocean, or any other large body of water. River floods occur when excessive rainfall or snowmelt causes a river to exceed its capacity. The damage from a river flood can be widespread as the overflow affects smaller rivers downstream. This causes dams and dikes to break and swamp nearby areas. Surface flood is caused when heavy rainfall creates a flood event independent of an overflowing water body. Most people think that you're only at risk of flood if you're near a water body. Some of the worst floods happen in China. The first flood was on July 1959 and caused 2 million deaths and happened on the North River. The worst flood happened on August 1931 and the flood caused 4 million deaths. Between 1995 and 2015, there have been 3,062 flood disasters. This accounts to 47% of all weather-related disasters and 43% of all natural disasters combined. Floods have affected 2.3 billion people and killed 157,000 people. Floods have caused 56% of deaths caused by a natural disaster.